Colorado is a proudly progressive state. Never happy to settle for the status quo, Colorado has evolved its policy to adapt to changing times. In 2012, Colorado passed a bill that has allowed for recreational marijuana use. In 2013, Colorado passed a bill that requires private sellers of guns to run a background check on the buyer. In 2018, Colorado passed a bill that allows people on parole to pre-register to vote. Clearly, Colorado is willing to push forward progressive policy so that their citizens can live better lives. Despite these progressive efforts, one segment of the population has been shelved: transgender people. Currently, transgender people must petition the court for a sex change on their birth certificate. This forced public outing endangers transgender people as they face violent backlash from strangers and, at times, their own families. A bill has been introduced to allow transgender people to privately provide documentation from a doctor to the state register instead of petitioning the court. This allows people to keep their transgender status private, sheltering them from violence as well as validating their experience. Despite the obvious need for this bill and its passage in the House, a Senate committee has shelved this bill indefinitely. The state recognizing that transgender people's lives are valid is important. 18% of transgender people have attempted to commit suicide, compared to 1.4% of the general population. One of the factors that plays into the suicide risk of transgender people is social acceptance. The acknowledgement of a person's existence by the state can be a major factor in the acceptance of transgender people by their society. By not readily accepting the identity of transgender people, the state is contributing to the high rates of suicide attempts that transgender people face. While this bill that would modernize the process to change the sex on one's birth certificate has passed a vote in the Colorado House, it has been stalled in the Senate's State, Veterans, and Military Affairs Committee. With a close vote of 3-2, the committee has shelved this bill indefinitely and permitted the state to continue to ignore transgender individuals. Join the fight to continue Colorado's progressive spirit and call your Colorado Senate representative today. Tell them that you support HB 18-1046. Let's protect the lives of our fellow Coloradans.